be an October 14th season start against the New York Rangers at home. So enough of that. Again, talking about the games, I think it's important to talk about what the players are trying to accomplish this time of the year. I know it's early in camp and it can drag on, but what do they want to get done, I guess, starting with tonight?
Yeah, you know, typically it's the veteran players. They want to come back and ease themselves back into form and get into top playing shape. And the young guys obviously trying to turn ahead and maybe create a spot for themselves. A little different this year. A new coaching staff from top to bottom. And you've got everybody wanting to make sure that they show well. They turn heads in a positive way. Rick Bowness, the new head coach, and they've got some changes going on in camp. Everybody wants to get off to the right start.
So you see a mix of veterans and rookies. It's the same for the Oilers today, too. You look at a Christian Reichel, he gets good opportunity to play with two skilled forwards of Pierre-Luc Dubois and Cole Perfetti. Harkin, Stenlund, Menelainen, some of the other names there, some other veterans like Mason Appleton, Dominic Toninato, and sprinkled with some guys who might be with the Moose but are trying to make an impression here today. And everyone's trying to, show their new coach something special, and you're going to look at two youngsters who are trying to do that today.
Yeah, a couple of exciting, talented first-rounders. First, we'll go back to the 10th overall pick in 2020 with Cole Perfetti. This is a guy that was limited to just 35 games last year. 18 of those were with the Winnipeg Jets before his season ended. Mid-February, he had an upper body injury he suffered in Seattle and then dealt with another lingering injury. But when you look at his last 10 games, he had 6 points with the Jets playing top 6 minutes. And this is a guy that is beyond his years when it comes to poise. And his hockey IQ, in my opinion, is off the charts. He skates well, good vision, and he is looking to crack that top 6. And then Chaz Lucius, the 18th overall pick in 2021. He spent last season with the University of Minnesota, another highly skilled elite player. He can skate, he can see the game extremely well, a natural finisher. Now, he was limited to just 24 games last year, had some injuries that he dealt with over the last couple of years. I know he went to work and he's feeling at the top of his game. His first debut here with the Winnipeg Jets in exhibition.
Well, it is exhibition hockey and a little bit of excitement in the crowd. Hopefully you can sense it. We are not far away from the opening face-off and the opening preseason game here in the Jets on TSN. And for September the 25th, as hockey is in the air, we're glad that you're along for the ride today. We'll bring you now the starting goaltenders. David Riddick, 30-year-old former Flame, Leaf, and Predator. Should be the backup this year, of course, behind Connor Hellebuck, and he'll get some work in today. Arvid Holm is the backup goaltender this afternoon for Winnipeg. 23-year-old Stuart Skinner, 35 games with Bakersfield last year, 22-7-5 with a 92% save percentage. Really good numbers across the board, and played 3 games with Edmonton last season. So there he is. Rick Bowness had a good chat with him today, and I don't know if at 67 you have nerves anymore, Kevin. I think he's been through this all before, but there's no doubt he's as excited as anyone today.
Yeah, you really got the sense of that talking to him today before the first exhibition game, and there's just been a lot of excitement and tempo is what comes to mind through training camp. It certainly has been high-paced action with a lot to learn early in camp for the Jets.
So the Jets find themselves in their own end to start this game. Perfetti takes the pass, trying to chip it ahead to Dubois. Couldn't get it out. Perfetti is able to nudge it out against Puljujarvi, who admits it's time for him to step up. Speaking of Jesse Puljujarvi, the 4th overall pick in 2016. Stanley's pass hits the stick. Puljujarvi would have had a great chance and went right between his legs. Jets look a little shaky in that exchange in their own zone. Centering feed Malone all the way back to the point. The shot's good. Marcus Niemelainen scores in the first shot. 1-0 Edmonton.
Well, that will sum up the beginning of preseason. It's not always pretty. In fact, very rarely is it clean. And like I mentioned off the top, a lot of teaching early on for the Winnipeg Jets with some new systems. An early pass that leads into a turnover, and Puljujarvi on cue, as you're talking about him, Dan, gets to the puck first and wins a little 50-50. A lot of attention down low. Niemelainen all alone on the weak side. D steps in and strikes first on the first shot of the game. 1-0 Oilers.
Worth mentioning, too, that the Jets are all looking at new systems being implemented by Rick Bowness and the coaching staff, so there will be growing pains along the way, as there is for every team this time of the year. So Niemelainen gets the goal for Edmonton. Played 20 games with the Oilers last year. There's Stenlund. He fanned on it. And he'll move it to the right side, and a nice little chip pass by Menelainen, and here they come. Harkins. Little delay move, stopping against Jason Demers on a PTO for the Oilers. A wrist shot snagged and held by Skinner. A minute 10 into this one.
Well, that's the one thing that as a coach, Rick Bowness, they've talked about a ton of change, and they've covered every single zone, offense, neutral, and defensive zone. But when it's game day, what the message is for guys to try to react. Of course, there's lots of thinking, but if you overthink your hand, of course, you're going to overplay the puck and turn it over. We've seen that early. That's a big part of preseason, and trying to get those first couple of shifts under your belt and get a little bit of a sweat, get some rhythm, and you feel comfortable. And it's been a rocky start here so far.
Jets find themselves in the Oilers zone. A centering pass works its way to Appleton. He'll move that to the corner. Skated after by Declan Chisholm. 30 points with the Moose last year. He wears 45. That pass was headed for Gavanka, but it didn't get through, and the Oilers are on the move, driving, and the shot there steered away. Dylan Holloway with a brilliant rookie camp in Penticton. He wears 55, and he's an Oilers hopeful for this year as they regroup and come right back into the zone. Now Samorukov looking behind the net. Jake Virtanen on a professional tryout. He wears 19 for the Oilers. Played last year in Moscow. Edmonton changing their defense, and the puck comes out of the zone.
Yeah, Virtanen, an opportunity to revitalize his career as a big boy at 230 pounds, a power forward that certainly could help this team if he can get some consistency back into his game. That'd be a nice find for Ken Holland and the Oilers.
Oilers hit the line again and get it in deep. A little bit of work over Reed Schaefer, the 32nd overall pick in 2022. He's just 19 years old. Now Stanley under a little bit of pressure, and he'll outlet to DeMello behind the goal. That pass springs off a stick and back for DeMello, who's getting ready for his 4th season with Winnipeg. 1-0 Edmonton here, 2.5 in. Perfetti looking for the puck and finding it. Pierre-Luc Dubois forced out of the zone. Dubois last year, 100 minutes and penalties, 26 goals, 54 points. Reichel, Dubois, a little touch pass. Perfetti putting some pressure on his man. That's Evan Bouchard, who wears number 2 now with the retirement of Duncan Keith. Bouchard had a breakout season last year on defense for Edmonton. Brett Kulak, the Edmonton native, who signed a 4-year deal after coming from Montreal, got it out. Oilers changing, Jets on the puck. Dubois mishandled it somewhat, and here comes McLeod for Edmonton. His pass just out of the reach of Fogle, and the Jets trying to get it back the other way.
A couple good things here in a couple different zones. You can see some of the things the Jets have been working on the last 4 days coming to fruition. A couple great plays, good reads from Cole Perfetti in the offensive zone. John Kovacevic with great gap and kills a play in the neutral zone himself.
Good passing by the Jets as it's Harkins. The feed in behind Saku Menelainen. Pitching up there is Gavanka, but that'll go all the way down right on goal to Riddick. Oilers completing a change now, so time for the Jets to get it out, but an errant pass. Holloway sends it out front, and the shot stopped and held. That was James Hamblin, former Medicine Hat Tiger, with the chance.
Now, we talked about Cole Perfetti off the top, and through training camp through this point, he has played with Blake Wheeler and Pierre-Luc Dubois. You got a big, powerful centerman that's going to support you, and you can see Dubois earlier in that play. He's off the hip of Perfetti. They keep the puck alive, and now that keeps the young guy Perfetti in the play. He capitalizes by being on the right side of the puck, creates a turnover himself, and just having that reinforcement from Pierre-Luc Dubois insulates a smaller but skilled young player.
Riddick comes out to play it. Appleton couldn't do anything with it, and that backhand shot toward the net went wide. That was Hamblin again. Back to the blue line. Dmitry Samorukov, 3rd round pick in 2017. Played to the far side. Now Lucius will hop on it. And out to center it comes. A little bit of pressure there on Jeff Malott, former Cornell star, who was a teammate of Morgan Barron at Cornell, and now the Jets will work in a change here, down 1-0 in the early stages.
Yeah, Malott led Manitoba Moose last year with 23 goals, and it's a guy that's pushing for a spot in the bottom 6 here.
It's always interesting to me to look at those guys who excelled at the AHL level last year, and they're, if not trying to make the team, which obviously they are, but at the very least, if they could be the first call-up, then that would help as well. Capobianco will carry it, and that's an offside against Winnipeg.
Oh, we talked about Lucius as well, the 18th overall pick in 2021. So you got a high-flying, skilled, elite finisher, 19 years old. Well, how is he going to deal with the speed and the physicality at the NHL level? It's the little details like this. He jumps to the puck first, takes a hit to make the right play. So yes, you want that guy to create a lot of offense, but can he play in the defensive zone? It's a little thing, but those things do not get overlooked by the coaching staff.
That's what Rick Bowness was saying today. I'm watching for details, whether it's guys going off sides on drills or guys not finishing out a drill, not skating right through to the very end. So detail-oriented so far early in camp. The Jets on the attack. Chisholm delays, shoots, and rang that one off the outside of the net. It appeared possibly Skinner got a piece of it, and the Oilers are on the move. The best chance right there for Winnipeg. McLeod takes that drop pass from Fogle, fires, and Riddick with an easy save and a hang-on.
Real good job from Declan Chisholm, just getting an opportunity offensive zone. Open, realize there's a pocket and jumping to it, and he does a good job getting a chance from the second layer. Good awareness to get the puck to that pinching D. That's going to be something that Jets are going to see a lot more of this year. Rick Bowness was really clear with his words, saying 24 goals from your defense last regular season isn't anywhere near enough. The D are going to get a green light to jump, and the forwards have to know when to cover for him. It was a good early example from Chisholm.
Now Virtanen centering pass. That'll work its way all the way back to Bouchard. Yes, Bowness saying today we need a minimum of 40 goals from our defensemen. He said we want them to get up in the play, and if they don't, they're going to hear about it. Some good skating, and Holloway driving to the front of the net. Lost the puck. In transition, Harkins got the trailer. Menelainen elects to hang on. Stenlund there too. Harkins driven all the way back to the blue line. Cycles it for Menelainen. Back for Jensen. Harkins, and that is tipped off his stick and out of the zone, and then takes it away from Malone. Brad Malone's been in the Edmonton organization since 2017. 33 years old, 207 NHL games, and has an assist on the game's goal, scored in the early stages at 41 seconds by Markus Niemelainen. Jets complete a change. 6:20 gone here in the opening period. There's Jason Demers. Little flip pass. Demers 699 NHL regular season games. Lucius under pressure. Sent around to the open wing, and no time for Murray to get there. Ryan Murray going back for it. Second overall pick in 2012. Injuries have really been a big concern for him. He's only played 75 games the last 2 years. Samorukov. Stanley got up on his man. Into the zone it goes. Bourgault following up on the play, and now Stanley is on it again. No shortage of quality defensemen in the Jets camp, Kevin.
Yeah, there's going to be, and there already has been some real healthy competition. In my opinion, for that sixth spot on the back end, I think the guys that are really competing for that would be Dylan Sandberg and Logan Stanley. I think John Kovacevic has done enough last year in his 4 games to raise some eyebrows, and you got Billy Heinola as well. So it'll be some real good competition. That's exactly what you hope for as a coach and as a coaching staff, to make sure that your guys internally push each other.
Evan Bouchard dumps it in, flagged down there by Kovacevic. He'll get to the line and snap that in. Skinner got a piece. Perfetti trying to track it along with Reichel. And now in traffic, Schaefer snaps it off the boards. Schaefer will be a hopeful for Canada's World Junior team coming up this Christmas. There's a pass from Reichel. Springs off the stick of Dubois, and that is frozen by Skinner. 41 seconds in, we have the game's only goal to this point. Markus Niemelainen with a shot from the point. The Oilers lead 1-0 here at Rogers Place.
Show the world what it means to be a fan at Fanatics.com. The world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
I don't like to spend a ton of time shopping, but I like to look good. For me, Poshmark makes that so easy. And whenever I get tired of something, I just relist it back on Poshmark. It's honestly a little addicting, making some money I can spend, keep my wardrobe fresh.
At GoToBank, we're for the go-to people in life. That's why we created the ultimate banking app. Easy to use, and no monthly fees with direct deposit.
I want to keep my money safe.
We provide fraud alerts, lock and unlock your account, and your money is FDIC insured.
Can I pay my bills?
Can I get overdraft protection?
Do I get free ATMs?
Yes, yes, and yes. Right from your phone. And you get over 10 times the national average on your savings. GoToBank. It's mobile banking at its best. Open an account at gotobank.com or get a card at a retail store near you.
NHLShop.com, the official online store of the National Hockey League, and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NHL fan gear, with unique one-of-a-kind designs by Fanatics, Adidas, and all the latest styles for every NHL team. Don't miss out. Shop now and get today's special offer. NHLShop.com, a Fanatics experience.
Well, it's not always players buying for jobs, of course, coaches as well, and there has been a lot of moving parts. The coaching carousel in the offseason, Rick Bowness, one of 9 newly appointed head coaches on that list. You see Paul Maurice, former Winnipeg Jet coach, finds a new home in southern Florida. You can see down the list as well. Cassidy from Boston on to Vegas, and on we go. Rick Bowness has a new staff under him as well. Scott Arneal is an associate coach. Brad Lauer, who is no stranger to Rick Bowness in his travels in Ottawa and in Tampa Bay. And Marty Johnson's the eye in the sky as well on that coaching staff to round it out.
We talk about players trying to get used to each other. The coaches have to do the same as Bowness and Arneal look on with 12:02 to go here in period number 1.
Yeah, Rick talked about his coaching staff, and I think the word that stood out for me, Dan, more than anything, was just the relatability, how important it was for him that everybody on his staff was a good communicator and relate, and that is a huge part of the new NHL, where, yes, you have to be firm and with your message and clear with your communication, but you have to be able to relate with this young man's game.
Oilers on the breakout, chipped ahead by Puljujärvi, and strongly back for it is Chisholm. Gavenke under some duress. Play to the front. There's a shot by Foegele. It goes off a stick and high and up behind the goal. Oilers have been pretty aggressive on the forecheck here in the early going. Perfetti, perhaps a 2-on-1. No, McLeod's able to get back and help break that up. And the Oilers bring it back in with Puljujärvi. An assist on that early first-minute goal for Jesse Puljujärvi. Time for Dubois. Right on top of him is Demers. A well-traveled veteran, flipped right back in. Some pressure by Virtanen, who got the step on Stanley, but he took him out of the play. Dubois finding Stanley. Harkins and Maalainen are up there for Winnipeg. Demers slips it over to the far boards. Stenlund, though, back to the line. DeMello or Kevin Stenlund. Pretty nifty pass there. Harkins. DeMello shoots with the crowd in front, and the glove saved by Skinner.
A couple nifty little plays in the offensive zone from Kevin Stenlund. He spent his last 3 seasons with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Played 3 games last year with the big club, but he's a big body and he's got a lot of skill. Good job on the backhand. A little give and go, draws 2 men to him, and on the backhand again, he's able to complete a pass, and that's a big part of his game, is the ability to make plays. He's a big man and he's got a bit of physicality to his game, but he's more about creating offense. And on top of that, it's a little bit like Blake Wheeler out there, doesn't he? Same height, they've got the same kind of body language, and I'm sure he'd love to have a little bit of Blake's skill rub off on him.
Both right shot, big guys. As it's fired into the Jet zone. Actually, he was headed that way and then careened out of play. We saw Maalainen go to the net. He played last year in Finland and 34 career games with Carolina. 5th-round pick years back with the Nashville Predators.
You've got some guys that you bring into your organization on one-year deals, and you want them to push, but you also want to make sure that you've got a healthy dose of veteran presence. Guys that have got international experience, they've got experience in the NHL, of course, bountiful of experience in the American League, and now you can mentor your young skill as well, and then you know that if you run into injury trouble, that you've got some guys with experience that you can call on if necessary.
Lucius now with a step on the defender. Following up is Appleton. 8 goals for him last year combined between Seattle and Winnipeg. A shot from the wing is blocked. Gavenke took that one, and he'll backpedal. He had to get out of the zone in case the Oilers were up ice in a hurry. Puck kind of bouncing around a bit, and chipped in deep that time by Jeff Malott. Malott with a bump on his man Murray. The Oilers are able to come up with the puck, just flipped off the boards and out by Samorukov. Both teams changing. Grabbing it is Gustafsson, and a good pass ahead. There's a sharp angle shot by Asimov. That was stopped by Skinner. Turnover Edmonton. Stanley takes a look, fires it, blockered away by Skinner. So you can slowly but surely feel the Jets finding their feet here in period one. Right back on that loose puck. Gustafsson doing some good work trying to hold off his man, and he'll draw a penalty. So when we come back, Winnipeg will have the game's first power play. They trail it by 1 here on the Jets on TSN.
Let the debates begin.
He has potential to be a top-end player.
Find out if your favorite made the cut.
He's one of those guys that thinks, I'm going to get 50 every year.
Top 50 players right now. 20-11, next Sunday, 6 Eastern on NHL Network.
Guys, help me understand something. If hair loss is one of the biggest insecurities men face and it's totally treatable, why haven't you done anything about it? Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration experts, are here to help. Bosley uses the latest technology and science to give you your real hair back permanently. That's a promise backed by the Bosley Guarantee. And right now, they've got an incredible free offer for you. If you scan this QR code, they're going to give you the completely free Bosley Info Kit. You're also going to get a $250 free Bosley gift card. Guys, do not wait. Do not suffer the insecurity that I know that a lot of you guys are suffering with. Bosley is a solution for you at any stage of hair loss, which is something that I love. Do you think these guys are happy they went to Bosley? So guys, what are you waiting for? Go see Bosley. Scan the code and get your real hair back. For your free information kit and free gift card for $250 off, scan the code. Don't wait. Scan the code now. Ask about the Bosley Guarantee.
Getting excited for the new season? So are we. But before they drop the puck, we're rolling out a full slate of preseason action.
It doesn't get any better than this to kick off the season.
Don't miss live preseason games on NHL Network.
Inside Rogers Place, another member of our broadcast crew today. No stranger to this area. Here's Ryan Richard.
Dan, thank you. It was an interesting week for Dylan Holloway, getting to know what he hopes will be one of his new teammates in Jack Campbell. But Campbell took Holloway out for dinner because he took his number 36, treated him to a nice big tall sushi platter. Holloway was laughing with the media, said, I really didn't care. It's just a number they gave me in training camp. We see he's in 55 here tonight, guys. The challenge for Dylan Holloway, grab one of the top 3 left wing spots this year. Ken Holland has made it clear they're not keeping him to be a 4th liner. He was fantastic at rookie camp, and a build continues here tonight.
Thanks, Ryan. Jets on the power play. And yeah, when you can get those young guys, if you can keep them on the roster and have them contribute, and they're cheap, that goes a long way in today's NHL. Holloway, a good-looking young player. We'll see what both teams' power plays can do today. Wouldn't expect anything razor sharp, Kevin, I wouldn't believe.
Well, first back with the Holloway, I think it's an upgrade to 55. He gets free sushi. I just wanted to get a bottle of wine out of that as well. I think it's a win-win for Holloway. Nice work early.
The Oilers break it up. They're shorthanded. Holloway shoots it. Comes back to him. They'll just play it deep. 4 Jets in the vicinity, so they'll come away with the puck with 8:50 left in the opening period. Goes past Stenlund, and here is Capobianco. Floats that one in, turning Murray. Stenlund is on him. Pile up of 4 players and quickly cleared by the Oilers as both teams will complete changes now.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of information, and the Jets working on a lot of details, and some of the details that they haven't got to yet in camp is special teams, power play, or penalty kill. Now, maybe they've done some video quickly, but it has been focused on 5-on-5 play, and it's no surprise that this looks a little choppy.
Jets grab the puck now, looking to get set up. Play to the side of the net. Again, a lot of bouncing pucks here so far tonight. Gavanka creeps down, sets it up. Good pass, a shot knocked away as Asimont had a lot on that, and we get a whistle on the play as that dislodged the mask of Stuart Skinner.
A couple of shots on net for Mikey Asimont, who led the Manitoba Moose in points last year, and a nice quick release. The first one was off the rush, this one on the power play. Nice play, good patience from Gavanka to hold it off, draw someone to you on the backhand. He puts it right in the strike zone for Asimont, who rips a quick little shot, shows backhand, steps over, and gives himself a chance to get off a quick shot, and that one unbuckled the mask of Stuart Skinner.
There's 31 seconds remaining in the penalty to Ryan Murray. Oilers win the draw, but it comes to Gavanka. Former Cape Breton Screaming Eagle. Try to put it behind the net, and that is fired past Kovacevic and all the way down the ice. That's Chisholm, pardon me. Pugliarvi comes in. And the Jets with time running out in this power play. Asimont back to Chisholm. Through center, batted away, and back for Chisholm one more time. Now, Gamanke, you can hear Riddick slap the stick. Penalty is over. Jets are 0 for 1. Just the one shot by Asimont, but Winnipeg on the attack now. There's a shot ripped off the outside of the twine. Picked up again by Menelainen and back to the point, but that pass went astray and out. Demers to pick it up. Menelainen with a little bit of pressure on him. The feet ahead. Fogle grabs it. He's got a man with him. McLeod's in front, but a good defensive play by Stanley to knock that one away.
Well, as a young guy in particular, you just want to do enough to turn the head of a coach. You don't want to overplay your hand. I think Lucius so far here, just over 7 minutes remaining in this first period, has done just fine. He's made a couple plays. We showed you in the defensive zone. He's been around the puck, forced a couple of turnovers. And that last example, he comes on early on a shift and drives the puck to the net. So this is a young man that I think understands that he doesn't have to win a spot in one shift or in one game, but I think that he understands to keep things simple enough to give himself another chance to play another day.
Good shot off the faceoff, knocked away by Riddick. I always wonder how tough it is for young guys like that to play their game, right? I know they're trying to be well-rounded and everything like that and impress the coaches, but just to be who you are, that's probably difficult to do under some pressure as Fogel's shot is blocked.
So many people used to say to me that they thought the job I did was the toughest in the NHL. A lot of fighting, banging, taking hits, and giving them. I felt the toughest job was for an offensive player because not only do you have to go into camp and try to make a team by being responsible defensively, oh yeah, just by the way, you got to score goals, set goals up, and there is a lot of pressure on those offensive players.
Capobianco's shot is blocked, and now Bouchard is away. 12 goals, 43 points for him last year as a 21-year-old. Winnipeg with possession one more time. Stenlund open on the left side. That goes off an Oilers stick and then off Demers and in deep. Stenlund wraps them up. Also there for Edmonton, Hamblin. Stenlund trying to use that big frame of his. Harkins back for Stenlund. Now Appleton is watched closely there by Demers. And finally the Oilers will break the pressure. And with good speed that time to get to the loose puck by Benson. He'll grab it again. Benson shoots it off the backboards. Riddick looking for it. Just poked that one away. There's a chance for Demers and a good save by David Riddick. Chipped ahead and out by Jansen. Harkins just gets over center red and gets it in.
Well, you mentioned earlier that the pressure from the Jets is something they've worked on, but the Oilers have certainly been on their toes a couple of times. They've created some chances just from creating turnovers there and some miscommunication at D-zone for the Jets, and one resulted in a goal, a couple more good grade A chances against.
Puljujarvi upended on the play. No call. And now we get a whistle with 5:17 left. The shots 9-7 in favor of Winnipeg. They trail it 1-0 here in Edmonton.
There's a lot to talk about during the season, and the conversation starts right here. I'm talking about NHL Network's season-long coverage with live shows and live games all week long. When you post, tweet, or talk hockey, make NHL Network part of the conversation.
If you've received a wage garnishment notice, bank levy notice, or need to file back or current taxes, you need to call Tax Leaders of America.
After calling Tax Leaders of America, they were able to negotiate my tax debt down to pennies on the dollar.
Call today for a free consultation.
If you or a loved one has mesothelioma or any other asbestos-related cancer, call now. Asbestos manufacturers sold deadly asbestos materials to thousands of companies, putting workers at risk. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trusts have been set aside to pay out claims to asbestos victims. You may be entitled to a portion of these funds and receive compensation without filing a lawsuit or ever going to court.
For your free legal consultation, call 800-543-0258. That's 800-543-0258. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
Get ready for a brand new season right now.
It's unbelievable.
We had good storylines, and they did.
I'll tell you what's on tap the next couple of hours.
Start your hockey night with NHL Now. Returns October 11th on NHL Network.
Well, no shortage of Jets fans here today at Rogers Place, and had a chance to see a lot of them yesterday at FanFest at Bell MTS Iceplex. Hockey's in the air, there's no denying it. Great to see so many people out there yesterday with the different jerseys on.
Lineups out onto Portage from Bell MTS Iceplex. There was lineups from inside the building all the way out to the parking lot. It was really well attended, and always True North is always represented well on the road around the National League as well.
Lineups for your autograph signing, it was impressive as well. The Jets come in, McLeod knocks it down. Like his skating, Ryan McLeod just signed a one-year deal for just under $800,000.
And the key to that deal, Dan, was that he took under his qualifying offer.
Here's a scoring chance coming perhaps, and a good stop by Riddick. Penalty coming up as Holloway continues to make his mark, showing some explosive speed, and the Oilers will have their first power play of the night.
Yeah, absolutely on cue. And there's a good speed, a drive to the net from Dylan Holloway as he turns the corner on Logan Stanley. And you know what? We haven't mentioned Riddick a whole lot. He let the first shot of the game in, but he's made some good saves as well. And right there, trying to get his timing down, does a nice job fronting that puck. And a step on Stanley takes the holding call, and the Edmonton Oilers will go to their first power play of the evening.
Gustafson and Appleton are up front for Winnipeg. So they'll try to kill this one. And the Oilers again, their first power play as Virtanen sets it up to the slot. Grabbed ahead there by Kovacevic, and he'll shoot it down the ice. Kovacevic and Capobianco are the defensemen out there to start this penalty kill. There is Bouchard entering his third season. Back from McLeod. Weaves his way, flips it on the backhand. He'll get his own dump in. Good play by McLeod. And Virtanen working the right side. Bouchard. McLeod circling, takes it, fires it. And he shot that one wide of the goal. Puljujarvi lets that go around. McLeod now sets it up for Fogle. Bouchard for Virtanen. Has a little bit of space. Snapshot, chest save, and a hold by Riddick. But the Oilers looking fairly sharp in their first stages of this power play.
Yeah, I would say that's fair. They look fairly organized. Ryan McLeod, we were talking about earlier, just on that entry, chips the puck off the wall, gets on his toes. You mentioned his skating is elite. He is a good skater right there. And on top of it, he wins a little bump battle right there to maintain puck possession. I mentioned earlier, qualifying offer. He signed a one-year deal less than his qualifying offer. He chose not to hold out. He knows he's got a great opportunity to seize the third-line center role on this team. And I think that's one of those things that will pay dividends down the road. The Oilers will remember as they are up against the cap. They've got a young guy that took less, and perhaps he'll get a little bit more down the road.
Halfway through the penalty to Stanley, 1-0 Edmonton. And the Oilers with their second unit out there now. Play started ahead by Bourgault. Murray threw to the front of the net, and a chance to clear. Goes by the wayside. There's a snapshot. Change direction. Blocker save Riddick. DeMello will hammer that one down the ice.
I mentioned earlier where there was very little work done, no work done, in fact, on the ice on the penalty kill. But this is where coaches can really get a read on a guy, just instincts alone, where you have an idea. I'm sure they went over some video, and now how quickly can you implement and then read and react, read the game. And this is a tell on the IQ of a player. You see some veteran guys out there that have been there before. Capobianco, new guy on the back end, and you get a read on your new personnel.
Latter stages of this power play. That's something Rick Bowness said today too. We're keeping an eye out for who's catching on and who isn't. As the puck grabbed there by Malone, tees it up, shot by Bouchard. He's got a heavy one, and that is an easy save by Riddick, and the penalty is over.
Had a really nice chat with David Riddick after day one of training camp. He had a year last year in Nashville that he personally would like to forget. As a matter of fact, his last couple years haven't been his best. He was an NHL All-Star back in Calgary. He had some really good numbers there, David Riddick did. He got back to work. He got a trainer from Czechia, his hometown, that he has familiarity with. He says he feels better today, this year, than he has in years. His lower back feels much better, and he's ready for a bounce back.
Played through and about the other side. It'll be interesting to see how many games he gets in, all things being equal, if Hellebuck stays healthy, which obviously the Jets would love to have, as he looks for a bit of a bounce back here too. And the Oilers are offside. Got a little mixed up there at the Jets blue line with 2:22 left in this opening period.
And some congratulations as well. Back in February, David Riddick and his wife welcomed their first child, Timothy, their son, into the world. And he said that gives him a lot more perspective, where he is now not only playing for himself, he plays for his family and his newborn son. So he says that he's much more calm of a person, but he says he's ready for a bounce back, and he is highly motivated and so excited to be a part of the Winnipeg Jets.
It's going to be icing against the Jets. And I'm always fascinated by backup goaltenders, right? I know I think once they get a little older, they realize what their role is. They have to be ready all the time. They have to be a good support guy, right? They have to be a good teammate. That's a big part of it.
Well, being a good teammate, it might be the most important part, because you got to be first on. You're often last off. You've got to take shots for guys that want to work on things, and you can't complain. You don't get to play nearly as much as you want to, and you're there to support someone else. And he's showing a lot of really good signs of being a good teammate, and he is excited to be here.
Two runners on the move. Fogle with a shot and a shoulder save there by Riddick. And when you get your chance to play, there's pressure, right? Because you don't know when you're going to get back in. As Edmonton looking to add to their 1-0 lead. Activating from the line is Murray going after it. He was chopped at by Menelainen. Stanley had to move quickly, grabbed by Harkins. A 3-on-2 developing possibly, but Fogle will come back. The pass, Menelainen with room out front off the stick of the defender. The shot stopped by Skinner. The Jets with perhaps their best chance of the evening right there.
Yeah, I would agree with you. That's their best chance, and this is a true 200-foot play. Dylan DeMello does a real good job just finding out and feeling where the soft area is. This is something they practiced a lot. Look at this, a backhand pass to the middle of the ice. That's usually what's open because the walls are taken away, and a confident backhand pass sends the Jets off onto a rush. A 3-on-2. Menelainen throws the puck to the net. Harkins toes to the blue paint, and Kevin Stenlund, we talked about earlier, using his size as a three-man push to create the best chance for the Jets so far.
And their quick whistle as the puck goes up and out of play. And I think you can see as the period goes on, not that they've been lights out, but the Jets are kind of slowly finding their way, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. As we look at Mikey Eyssimont, you mentioned it earlier, 42 points to lead the Moose last year. As they get lined up in this offensive zone draw with a minute and 28 seconds remaining in the first period. Kovacevic trying to knock it loose. Holloway again shoots it. He got a lot on that. It might have gone off the stick of Capobianco and then eventually up and out of play.
Good speed here from the Oilers off the rush, but this is another little detail that coaches will see. Can a guy skate good enough to have good gap? There's speed coming at Capobianco, but right there, he's a stick length, half a stick length away. He smothers that shot attempt, so he gives predictability to his goaltender and no time and no space to let one rip. A nice job from the veteran of 5 years in the National Hockey League. He spent his time with Arizona. Good job on that gap.
45 games for him last year with the Coyotes. Reichel took a bump, couldn't clear it. Now Chisholm on his horse. Pugliarvi gets there first. Good time for Reichel on the pass for Perfetti in his feet. Demers had an eye on Perfetti. He wouldn't have gone anywhere had he got the puck anywhere. Now Dubois in a crowd calling for it. Gavanka, he'll snap that around the boards with under a minute remaining in the opening 20. Dubois trying to protect that puck. He is swallowed up. Chance here by Perfetti, and that is blocked. He took a bump. Gavanka in on the attack like his coach wants him to do. You mentioned earlier, Rick Bowness wanting the defense to get more involved in the offense. Now an opportunity for Dubois, but a bouncing puck. He'll corral it this time. Fighting it a little bit right there. Dubois looking for Chisholm, and he does a good job to keep it in against Pugliarvi. Perfetti, nice maneuver. Cole Perfetti with a shot. He went short side. That's stopped by Skinner. Good persistence by this line in the dying seconds of period one. Pass rink wide. Gavanke will play that one off the boards. Hoping for a last second chance here. It won't come. It's cleared. And this first period will come to an end. What do you think about the opening 20?
Well, I certainly think the Jets built into that period and way better in the last 10 minutes than they were in the first, shaking off some rust for sure, both teams, but I like that last shift, maybe the best one that they've had. Dubois, some power moves out of the corner, good support from Perfetti, who took the puck to the...
Lots of piece through one, but yeah, at least it seemed to get a little bit cleaner as we went along in the first period.
Yeah, well, specifically to the Jets, I would think that the message would have been all about the defensive zone, where they had some egregious turnovers, and like you said, that's to be expected. It's not going to be clean day one. There's been a lot of thinking, a lot of teaching, but I would think Rick Bowness and his staff would have focused in on making sure that you're not stopping and reading. You are just knowing and going. In the defensive zone, everybody understands their tasks and try to get to those spots quickly and plays right away.
Eastmont gets it deep to start period number 2, and he is upended. Now DeMello played it back to the corner. That'll bounce to Holloway, who was maybe the Oilers' best player in the opening 20. That will flip off a stick and icing against Edmonton. We saw a shot of Pierre-Luc Dubois earlier. You see Dylan DeMello. And I wonder what veteran guys are trying to do specifically. I'm sure they're not going to go all out, but they've been around long enough to know what they have to do to get into shape and get sharp when the season starts.
Yeah, it's twofold for me, where I think that this year would be maybe the most tempo that I've experienced as a broadcaster just watching camp. I think the veterans are highly motivated to get a good impression because Rick Bowness is a coach that's very approachable. He's very fair, but I think that everybody's starting at the start line even. And if you want a job, if you want a task or a spot on this team, you're going to have to show. And I think guys from top to bottom understand that, and it's been reflected in practice, and now a chance to do it here for the first time in preseason.
Jets trying to keep the puck, and it'll scoot out, but it comes to Perfetti, and he'll whip it in behind the net. Kulak wants it, snaps it around. Kulak, he impressive with the Oilers in the playoffs last year. An understated defenseman for my money. A good skater. Pass up on the left side. Dubois will loft that in and head off. And the Jets change 4 of the 5 skaters. There's Eamalainen. He had the first period goal. McLeod for Fogle, and in deep. Capobianco watches Riddick playing around the boards. Bouncing puck from a lot. He can't tame it. McLeod is on it. And up ahead is Lucius, hoping the puck will come to him. He'll be directed in. Now the Oilers getting some new personnel on. Skinner will tee it up. Little wipe out there by Murray. On front, Lucius looking for that puck, but it went past him on the backhand. Now Benson scrambling up ice. He has Bourgault. Benson. Bourgault can't knock that out of the air. Boy, the Oilers got up ice in a hurry that time. Things start to open up here in Edmonton now. Lucius just missed that as the Jets were trying to come in on the attack. And Winnipeg caught a bad change. Benson sets it up. Bourgault gets it back, tipped, and just wide off the stick of James Hamblin at the side of the net. We didn't see this much pace in the opening 20 as we've seen in the opening 2 here in the second period.
Yeah, it's like a tennis match here as we're going end to end here. A couple of chances, both teams. Like you said, the tempo's found another level.
Murray headmans it out of the zone. DeMello is on it, and now Stanley gives it back. Dylan DeMello, the former 6th-round pick of the Sharks, right up the middle, shoots, and that ricochets off Kulak and wide. As it's sent away by Skinner. The Jets trying to tie this game here. They'll host Ottawa on Tuesday. We'll have that game for you. Harkins, Stenlund grabs it. Played it around for Stanley. A little bit slow to get to him. A long, easy wrist shot for Skinner to handle.
An early chance from the Jets, and then the Oilers countered with not 1 but 2 rushes. I think Capobianco played that fairly well. He pressured the shot and yet was in the passing lane, forces a bad pass, and then a counter again. Jets guilty of being a little late on a change, and it is Hamblin, former Medicine Hat Tiger. Had good numbers last year with Bakersfield, and on the backhand he tries just to re-tip that one inside that far post, missed by an inch. Chances now going both ways.
Gustafsson and Malone on the draw. Push back to the Jets line, the Oilers line. There's a long shot. Knocked away. Gavankin took that one. He'll keep that in and float it. A little pressure on Demers. Jets with some good jump now. And they'll get to that loose puck. Eamon fires it back. Chisholm shot. Blocked. Gets it again. Declan Chisholm trying to step around his man. He does. Sets it up. Eamon with a drive and a save by Skinner. A little bit of pushing from Malone, who took exception to Eamon getting to the net after the puck was frozen.
Well, doing all the things you want to do to turn the head of your coach, and Jay Woodcroft is now entering his first full season as head coach with the Edmonton Oilers and what success he had. 38 games coached, a record of 26-9-3. He took his team all the way to the Western Conference, losing 4 straight to the eventual Stanley Cup winners in the Colorado Avalanche. Woodcroft set out his goals now that he's had an off-season to prepare for camp, and he talked about conditioning being number one. Of course, compete, and those are always important for every team. And then he talked about playing personality, solidifying what this team wants to be known for. It's just another fancy way of talking about working on your identity, and Jay Woodcroft certainly experienced early success in his first gig as a head coach.
There's Jake Chason, 4 years with the Brandon Wheat Kings. He wears 61 for the Oilers. Good stick there by Gustafsson to poke that. Keep it in. Put it in behind the net. Mentioned Gustafsson earlier with 15 goals in 47 games last year in the American Hockey League with the Moose. Bianco with a nice little fake there, and he'll whip it ahead to Perfetti. Cole Perfetti's pass off the stick of Murray, but right to Kovacevic. Oilers now grab it. Samorukov, 51 games at Bakersfield last year. Edmonton changing, and the Jets on the move. The pass flips off the stick. Dubois trying to reel it in. He'll get some help there from Reichel. Was too far that time for Perfetti. Pinching is DeMello. Kulak calling for it and getting it. Fogle, short pass. McLeod, neat move. He'll drive past Dubois. He's got a man in front of that. McLeod slid that just wide of the far post as Puljujärvi was trying to catch up. DeMello. Reichel. Off the boards and out. Reichel, the last 4 years with the Moose. He played 13 games with the Jets last season, a goal and an assist, and he's got it in over the line. Lucius shoots, and that floated wide of the goal. DeMello down for Chaz Lucius. Minnesota Golden Gopher. Back toward the line, cut off. Lucius reaching for it. DeMello keeping it in.
Nice job. A couple of really good reads from Dylan DeMello, pinching up the wall in the offensive zone. It's what Bowness wants, is he wants active D, and DeMello's reads have kept the puck alive not once but twice.
Malott trying to jab that one free. Gavanke holds it, put it in behind the net. 5 minutes into this second period. The goal came from the Oilers' Niemelainen 41 seconds in, and nothing sits. Appleton being pressured there by Hamlin, who had a great opportunity a few minutes ago. Appleton from Green Bay works it back to the line. He'll find it again. Appleton, a couple of Oilers around him, gets it down for Lucius, who's been out there for quite some time. He'll get loose. Here's a chance for Appleton. Couldn't get all of it. Did well just to get a shot directed toward the net. And finally, the Oilers ease the pressure. Now Gavanke sees he has some skating room and takes advantage. I've liked his game so far today. Stenlund with a drive. That bounces around. Harkins picks it up. Stenlund trying to get the stick on it on the backhand. Couldn't. There's a shot. Rang off the iron from a sharp angle from Menolainen. Kovacevic leaves it. Saku Menolainen back to the blue line. Bianco faked the shot, put it in behind the Oilers' goal. Menolainen went down awkwardly. I hope he's okay. Penalty coming to Edmonton. He's in a bit of pain. And when we come back, the Jets will have their second power play of the night. They continue to trail it 1-0 here at Rogers Place in Edmonton.
It's not about how fast you run. It's about how well you slow down. Corona Premier. Lower carbs, lower calories. Is your light beer Premier?
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. After decades of waiting, new legislation has just been passed that finally offers justice to the countless Marines and their family members who experienced devastating health effects after being exposed to toxic water at Camp Lejeune. So if you or a loved one were stationed at Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, toxic water may be to blame. Call right now to find out if you qualify. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-842-1430. 1-800-842-1430.
Getting excited for the new season? So are we. But before they drop the puck, we're rolling out a full slate of preseason action.
It doesn't get any better than this to kick off the season.
Don't miss live preseason games on NHL Network.
Power play number 2 for the Jets, and they've done some good work along the wall, down low in the offensive zone, and a nice job from Manalainen to get to that puck first. Demers stick into the wheelhouse. He goes down awkwardly, and earlier we talked about deactivating DeMello. Makes a great read, pitches down the wall, keeps the puck alive. Now Stanley does. You have to rely on your high forward to make sure you're on the right side of the puck, because if not, even a half a stride off, the other team's going to get their chance. There are 2-on-1 that never materializes. Dylan DeMello, though, showing some good leadership and making the right read at the right time.
Jets control off the draw on the power play. Stenlund redirected by Dubois. He'll try to get it back. It bounced away, and Malone will scramble. Malone for Holloway. Long wrister kicked away by Riddick. Stenlund getting some power play time. Reichel out there too. There's Perfetti. So 4 forwards. As they're in on the forecheck, trying to get that loose puck. Reichel with a man on him. That is Murray. Stenlund, it'll come to him, and now Capobianco at the right point. He's got Perfetti to his left. Stenlund shoots, blocked. Kept in. Capobianco trying to filter it through. He does, but Perfetti couldn't knock that down. He's able to get a body on it. Help keep it in. Penalty coming up to the Oilers. 5-on-3 unless they score here for the Jets. Good pass. Stenlund waits, shoots, and he just sings that one wide. Maybe the Jets would be well suited to just get the puck to an Oiler and get that 5-on-3 as Riddick made a pass. Heads to the bench. They'll come right back in. Stenlund looking for Reichel. And back for Stenlund. Good feet across. Perfetti shoots. That just went wide loose in front. And Reichel missed an open net. And probably can't believe that right about now.
Well, some good puck movement and good poise as the Jets have the empty net. So they've got the 6-on-4. And they make a couple of really nice plays. Kevin Stenlund involved in the thick of it. They'll have a truncated 5-on-3. Samorukov goes into the box. And some really good plays. Just getting the puck first. We've seen the first one from Manalainen, drawing it by getting to the puck, protecting it, and you can see the stick of Samorukov getting into the hands of Perfetti. The 5-on-3. We talked about not practicing 5-on-4. They certainly have been worked on 5-on-3. They'll get some extra ice.
Big draw here, and the Jets. Dubois wins it. Perfetti for Capobianco. Stenlund's in front. Dubois with the puck down to the side of the net. Got away from Perfetti. All 3 Oilers down behind the net. Stenlund picks it loose. 5-on-3 advantage here for Winnipeg as they try to tie the game. Dubois. Perfetti creeps out just a bit and gives it back. Dubois. Capobianco shoots. Glove save by Skinner. And still 21 seconds to go in the 5-on-3.
A nice job from Stuart Skinner. 5 down, 5-on-3. Does a good job to fight for sight. The big goaltender slotted in to be the backup. First to Jack Campbell here in Edmonton. A good shot from Capobianco, and he gets everything on that one. And Skinner says no.
So the same 5-some out for the Jets as Dubois tries to win a second straight draw, and he does. Good work by him at the dot. Now a chance. Capobianco put that off a stick. Perfetti back to the line. Capobianco down to Reichel. Capobianco again. Dubois patient. Pass down to the side of the net. Capobianco with a shot. And a good read by Skinner. He got in the right spot in a hurry and hangs on.
A good job to find Reichel down low, and he's pretty static, and this is just a result of probably not going over systems, but he's standing on that goal line on the weak side there, and a good job finding him the puck. He pulls the guy out of the lane and looks for that one-timer for Capobianco, and a couple of heavy shots onto the net, and Skinner is looking large.
2 shots on the 5-on-3, a one-man advantage right now as they still control off the draw. Malott took the pass. Oilers aggressive. Niemelainen got a piece of it. Lucius in after. Niemelainen just kept going and ran into Lucius. Chisholm tees it up. Kavanka, high shot rattled off the glass. Lucius, that is read and picked off and cleared by Niemelainen with just about 40 seconds left in the power play and 11 and a half to go in the second. Still 1-0 Edmonton. Lucius drags it over the line. Malott met there by Kulak. Clearing attempt. Bounces behind the goal. The Oilers' Bouchard calmly finds a lane and shoots at the distance.
It's a tough situation for a guy like Declan Chisholm, who is a puck-moving, skating defenseman, and you want to show well and earn trust, be good defensively, but the power play is another opportunity to show that you can be of help on the power play. It's just tough to look clean in preseason. You mentioned you haven't had time to practice it, and it isn't uncommon for these to look more like a 5-on-5 than a 5-on-4.
So the Oilers kill the 5-on-3. Samorukov back on the ice. Jets 0 for 3 in the power play, but here they come. A quick shot blocked as Gustafsson took that drive, and it goes out of play.
And an opportunity for David Gustafsson, who was called up twice, played 2 games for the Jets, injured after each game that he played. It was a miserable situation for him, as he is ripe, in my opinion, ready to take the step to the National Hockey League. The big depth centerman who is fantastic on the face-off circle. He played 22 games as a rookie with the Jets a couple of years ago. He's 54% on the face-off dot. He's really gone to work and talked about how he doesn't let those injuries affect him psychologically. He's ready to show well and feels like he's ready to take the step.
Gustafsson now 22 years old. Puck goes airborne. Venäläinen. Stenlund couldn't knock that one down. There's Murray for Edmonton. Flip tried to get there. Haven't mentioned his name yet. Noah Philp. He wears number 47. He spent the last 2 years with the Golden Bears at the University of Alberta. Harkins was almost able to grab that one. There's Benson. Out the center. Schaefer couldn't go anywhere with it. Benson now denied entry, so he'll back it up. The Oilers are changing. Shots are 17-14 Winnipeg. Still looking for their first goal of the game. Curling and taking it is Virtanen. Virtanen gets it back. Shoots. Didn't get a lot on it. Riddick may have got a piece. Flung over far side. Demers takes that shot. It's blocked and comes right back to him. Jason Demers to Niemelainen, the goal scorer. Malone pressured by Kovacevic, and the Jets, will they clear? Yes, they will. Taking it in stride, Reichel. Net drive there by Perfetti. He'll take the pass. Big hit that time by Niemelainen on Reichel, who shakes it off and gets back up and into the play. Now Niemelainen up ice on the attack. Gavanka got a piece of him, and the Oilers get to that loose puck. On the move, backing up, Holloway going around the perimeter. Dylan Holloway shoots it, and that didn't miss by much. He's brought his wheels tonight. Bouchard flips it on goal. Spiked away that time by Riddick. It'll come free for Gavanka. His pass, got it through to Reichel. In motion is Dubois, circled back, following up Chisholm. Puck comes free, and it is Toninato from Duluth, Minnesota, former Av and Panther. And the pass comes through to center, and it is Gustafsson to drive that one right back in. Toninato trying to make the right read on the forecheck. Collected there now by Murray. Pardon me, that was Fogle. Taken away, though, by Asamon. He'll drive, gets a shot away, blocked. He's after it again. He's upended on the play, and Puljujärvi pushes that to center with McLeod chasing it. Fogle driving over the line. Between a trio of Jets, he flipped that one wide. Fogle brought some good speed to the Oilers last year, Kevin.
Yeah, he was picked up from Carolina, that Ethan Bear trade, and this is another guy that adds some depth. 10 goals, he can play the left side, he can play the right side, power play, penalty kill. Versatility is a weapon.
Xavier Bourgault trying to penetrate and get a shot away. Bourgault, the 22nd overall pick in 2021, 75 points with Shawinigan last year, as we go a long time between whistles here in Edmonton.
Got an up close and personal look at Xavier Bourgault at the Memorial Cup, as his team felt like they were a team of destiny, losing in the final, but just a fantastic, or pardon me, in the semifinal, but just vision, and he has got great skill, blessed with skill and patience. It's beyond his years.
Pass to the front of the net, reaching for it. Hamblin couldn't quite line that one up. There is Bourgault backing up and sending it back to Demers. Wrist shot blocked. Niemelainen skating into the corner after it. Stanley stepped in front of his man. Boots it ahead. Lucius. Chiasson got a piece of that. The Oilers looking for a scoring chance. Playing a little bit ragged in that Jet zone right about now, with under 7 remaining here in period 2. Stanley taken away. Here's Shisson with a drive, and what a chance there to make it 2-0. Just missed the mark. The Oilers a little sharper than the Jets in the last couple of minutes in the Winnipeg zone. Niemelainen one more time. He's been out for a while. Schaefer trying to push past Kovacevic. Play gets gummed up at the Jets' blue line. And shot right back into the zone. DeMello leaves it. Kovacevic. He's got some room this time. He'll use it. Gets to center red and fires that around. Holloway. Weak clearing attempt. Kept in. Long shot. Kicked away by Skinner as Harkins was going to the net. Out of North Vancouver. He was born in Cleveland when his dad Todd was playing there in the American hockey, or maybe it was the IHL back then. I got to double check that.
It was the IHL. I think you're right.
We had a quick chat with Jansen the other day, yesterday at practice afterward. In good spirits, kicked ahead by Puljujärvi to the front, and a turn and burn there by Holloway. Got a good chance out of that, and a fine save by Riddick.
Big save, Dave. He's earning that nickname right there, point blank, a good leg kick.
Eyssimont out front. Here's a chance. And did that go off the bar? Maybe off of Skinner. That went off the crossbar and out of play as the Jets came close to tying it. Still trail it by 1 here on the Jets on TSN.
Let the debates begin.
He has potential to be a top-end player.
Find out if your favorite made the cut.
He's one of those guys that thinks, I'm going to get 50 every year.
Top 50 players right now. 20-11, next Sunday, 6 Eastern on NHL Network.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Call right now to find out if you qualify.
Call 1-800-453-0767. 1-800-453-0767.
NHLShop.com, the official online store of the NHL and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NHL fan gear. Shop now and get today's special offer. NHLShop.com, a Fanatics experience.
They're the team everybody loves. The team at NHL Network. Catch up with the news of the day on NHL Now. Get instant analysis with NHL Tonight. Top it off with On the Fly.
Sign me up for more of that.
Returns October 11th on NHL Network.
For the Oilers, 30-year-old veteran Calvin Pickard from Moncton, New Brunswick, gets the call. 3 games with Detroit last year, and you see his career numbers. Calvin, a former second-round pick of Colorado way back in 2010. Stuart Skinner stopped all 18 shots and a magnificent mustache here in the preseason.
Look at that duster. Good job for him. And you look at one of the members of the new coaching staff. There's Brad Lauer from Humboldt, Saskatchewan. Over 300 games played in the National Hockey League. More than double that back in the minor leagues for Brad. And he's got some familiarity with Rick Bowness. He played for him in Ottawa back in the 90s. He coached with him in Tampa Bay from 2015 to 2018. And Brad Lauer, no stranger to this arena, as he spent his last 4 years coaching the Edmonton Oil Kings. He took them to the Memorial Cup, and he is happy to be joining the staff here and his first season with the Winnipeg Jets.
1-0 Edmonton. Reaching Ford Hamblin. He's had a chance or 2 here today. Now Bourgault will scramble in over the line, trying to whip that on net. It comes back to him. Bourgault centering pass and sticked away by Riddick. Jets will turn it up ice in a hurry as Eyssimont was checked from behind and shot right back in by Benson. So it looks like, well, I'm going to say Riddick will go the distance. He might come out after 2. Not sure what the plan is, but we heard Rick Bowness say it's just leave the goalie stuff up to the goalie coach, right?
Yeah. You know what, and it makes a lot of sense to get a veteran guy like that in early and get a feel for things, and we'll see what happens here through the third.
Dubois, centering pass, didn't get all of it. He kind of fanned on it as he looked to fire it to the front of the net, trying to overtake the Oiler McLeod on that play, and around the boards it goes. Fogle, wrapped up right away by Stanley, but he gets it to Niemelainen, and the Oilers are in move. McLeod, backdoor pass intended for Puljujärvi, and that went off a stick and on a play. 1-0 lead for Edmonton over the Winnipeg Jets. You're watching the Jets on TSN.
NHLShop.com, the official online store of the NHL and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NHL fan gear. Shop now and get today's special offer. NHLShop.com, a Fanatics experience.
Never be afraid of your strength, because your body is capable of amazing things. Own your strength and see how far it takes you. Tonal, be your strongest.
Last season gave us some pretty spectacular moments.
Colorado has won the Stanley Cup.
Huge milestones.
Ovechkin glides over the golden bread.
And huge goals.
Man, oh man, has his kid got some hands. That is something. Speechless.
And this season means to continue that trend.
My level of excitement, 13 out of 10. It's all right around the corner. It's a fun time because it's not far away.
The best is yet to come. And you can catch it all here on NHL Network.
Jets on TSN preseason coverage continues Tuesday as the Jets host the Sens in Winnipeg. Action gets underway at 7 Central on TSN in the Jets region.
Well, former Ottawa Senators coach Rick Bowness will face one of his old teams, and Bowness understands who this team is. So you take your gifts and then you maximize them. They're a skating team. They're going to play fast. We've talked about tempo. Tomorrow's first day off. That's somewhat rare sometimes in camp. And when you ask a lot of your players, then you give a lot as well. I think that's something that comes back to you. So the Big Jets have been pushed hard early after their first exhibition and day off tomorrow, and they get right back to it on Tuesday.
Oilers bringing it back in. We mentioned, too, after the game in Montreal on Thursday, that's probably when the first cuts will come, so we'll keep an eye out for that as Malott moves it ahead. The pass for DeMello, who's had a strong second period for Winnipeg. He'll ladle that one in. Kulak shovels it, cut off by DeMello, wearing an A here. Bounce, perhaps a good one for Chiasson. He is brought down, and the Oilers will have their second power play of the evening.
One little misplay. Execution is such an important thing, and you talked about DeMello, who's been excellent. I agree, making the right reads and just kind of a calming presence in a game that hasn't been pretty, and they never really are game number one of the preseason, but a D-to-D pass that misses its mark, and now you guys got chasing, reacting a little bit out of position, and it's Appleton with the stick into the feet, and the Oilers now will get their second opportunity with the extra man.
Gustafsson to face off against McLeod. Caught a McLeod skate, and the Oilers will control off the face-off win. Bouchard, Jake Virtanen, former 6th overall pick. Curling is McLeod. He'll take it. Force back. Gustafsson fell. Back and into the play. McLeod snaps it. Looking for Puljujärvi at the goal mouth. Bouchard. Toninato slowly comes out to meet him. Virtanen, wrister. Hit something, and then the glass. McLeod, some pressure on him from Gustafsson, and now Virtanen. Oilers with the man advantage. Centering pass picked off. Gustafsson gets the clears. It's skipped past Bouchard, so the Jets get a break right there.
That's a good read from David Gustafsson right there. He sees the middle lane, and that's the threat. He fills it and anticipates, creates the turnover, and clears the puck 200.
Bouchard will back it up. The Oilers on the move. McLeod takes it, hits the line. McLeod back for Bourgault. He'll cut and curl. Back to the line, Bouchard. There's Virtanen. Slap pass. Got away from his intended target at the side of the goal. The Oilers get the puck back, though. McLeod and Virtanen. Bouchard gives it right back. Virtanen moves in. The slap pass off the stick of Stanley that time. Good moves in tight for Bourgault, and the much larger Stanley gets the better from there, and the Jets are able to clear that one down with 30 seconds left in the minor to Appleton and a minute 50 to go in the second period.
Good job collapsing both from DeMello and Logan Stanley. You see your sticks. They're a weapon. Use them. In a span of Stanley pops the puck free. DeMello follows it up. The defensive sticks get the clear.
Holloway gets it back from Schaefer. A backhand pass by Murray. Demers gives it back. Murray. Holloway looking in the slot area. Time running out on the penalty. Appleton to his feet. Holloway to the puck. No shots for the Oilers in that man advantage. Demers with a heavy pass for Bourgault to handle. He'll get it in the end. Murray, Demers, slap pass redirected by Bourgault. And now it is Kovacevic, and the Jets will get out of the zone. They were patient defensively the last couple of minutes there. Shot blocked off the stick of Dubois. Coming along, Kovacevic, and we've got a whistle on the play. 2 men on the ice, it would appear. We'll get the call.
Winnipeg, bench minor penalty, too many men on the ice.
Also something that can happen in the preseason, Kevin.
Being organized, and this one at the tail end of the power play for the Oilers, and we'll have to get another look at this one as there was the Jets in the middle of a change. The referee in behind the play that confidently made the call. It's interesting, the 19-year-old Bourgault on that last power play, I'm pretty sure he was on the ice for the entire 2 minutes. The Oilers had good offensive zone control, and now they'll go back-to-back here with their third attempt.
Gustafsson and McLeod again on the draw with a minute left in the period. Oilers control. Bouchard shoots it. And that hit Puljujärvi and jumped to the boards. Puljujärvi trying to volley that out of the air. Fogle back for McLeod. He misplayed it. And almost poked out by Gustafsson, but the Oilers Virtanen to McLeod. His pass, maybe one too many passes for Edmonton, off the stick of Stanley and over the glass.
Yeah, using your gifts, and a nice job. We talked about Stanley's last shift on the penalty kill, and just knowing where you have to be number one, but then you use your gifts. Look at that, big 6'7", 230-pounder, sprawls it out, tips it up and out of play. Defensive play from the big man.
Toninato to come in and take the draw this time again against McLeod. Toninato falling. It's in a crowd of skates. Murray. Demers fell, but just played it into his body. But good work to pick it up and shoot it down there by Harkins.
It's an opportunity for Jansen Harkins as well, where he wasn't a part of the penalty kill, no power play time, so it was a depth rule last year and the year before for him, and no specialty team, so an opportunity for him to maybe turn some heads and gain some trust. And you always want your depth guys to wear two hats, and Jansen Harkins out there on the penalty kill now.
Stanley just muscled his man McLeod to the ice. Oilers keep it in. 5 seconds to go in the period. Pass cross ice, knocked away that time by DeMello. So still a minute remaining in the penalty to ice him on. He's the guy serving the too many men, but so far so good on the penalty kill for the Jets, Kevin.
Yeah, it's a tough one, like I mentioned, especially in game one. We've had 5.
Pleased to be joined by the man himself, Terry Ryan, Montreal Canadiens first-round pick turned actor, a recurring role on Crave this year. The series is called Shoresy, a Letterkenny spin-off. If you love Letterkenny, you'll love Shoresy. But TR, for people that haven't seen it, how would you describe it?
Shoresy's a character in Letterkenny, and it follows his life pretty closely. It's very hockey-centric, but you don't have to really love hockey to watch it. That's what I love about it. You know, I'm a big fan of Letterkenny, so it was a real honor to be on the show, to be honest with you. It was a lot of fun.
A real stretch. The character Jared Kiso asked you to play in Ted Hitchcock. Tell me about him.
Well, you know, I've been in the acting world for a few years, but, you know, don't have a ton of experience. I got a little bit, and to be in like a major role like that was, he's a friend, and he reached out to me, and, you know, they needed a Newfoundlander to play this part, and lo and behold, I got the phone call and an opportunity, and, you know, the hardest part of shooting is not laughing while we're doing the scenes.
It looks like it's a ton of fun. Is it as much fun as it looks like?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun, and you know, I've heard good things. We haven't heard anything official yet, but if I was a betting man, I would say that you'll see season 2 and 3 at some point soon.
Well, I absolutely love season number 1. There you have it, Shoresy, season 1. You can get it on Crave, and there's Terry Ryan right next to Jared Kiso. Ted Hitchcock is his character. And Kevin, Terry made me promise that I would not ask him about when they beat you back in the Western Hockey League in Game 7. He just said it would be tacky to bring up, so this is me not bringing it up, Kevin.
Well done, guys. And, of course, Terry Ryan, a Newfoundlander. I'm a Nova Scotian, and my thoughts in the last couple of days have been with the folks from the eastern part of the country with Hurricane Fiona and all just the devastation. I know it's a tough time, and you see images of what happened and the trees down and the power lines. And Rick Bowness, we talked about that yesterday. A really frightening time, and we wish the best for those people going through that after Hurricane Fiona. As period number 3 is underway, 50 seconds remaining in the Oilers' power play as they look to add to their 1-0 lead. That is McLeod. Cleverly on the breakout. Gets past Gustafsson, but a good poke check away, and Gustafsson is able to fire that one down the ice.
I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the Terry Ryan overtime game winner, Game 7 in round 2 in the Western Hockey League playoffs. And after he scored the goal, it was the best celebration I've ever seen. He rode the kayak up the ice. I'll never forget it. It was like it was yesterday, a heartbreaker, but hard not to chuckle at that as well.
Terry is a beauty.
He's a beauty.
Holloway for Bouchard. He wants it back, gets it. Holloway winds and shoots. And he missed by 3 feet. McLeod grabs it on the other side. Asimon on his feet on the ice. Side of the net pass. That'll bounce out of the zone. And Asimon will put a little pressure on Bouchard, who turns and fires it in. So both teams 0 for 3 on the power play here in Edmonton this evening. DeMello gets Perfetti in flight. He'll dump it in cross corner. Niemelainen picks it up. Moves it. Can't clear it. Swatted ahead by Kovacevic, but it went off a body and right back out. That's Demers. Puck got away from Reed Schaefer. He had 58 points at Seattle with the Thunderbirds last year. Dubois, good feed. Perfetti delays and fires, and right into the glove of Calvin Pickard.
Well, we worked our way down the list of new coaches to the Winnipeg Jets coaching staff, and Scott Arniel, no stranger, of course, to the Winnipeg Jets. He was a 22nd overall pick back in 1981 to the Jets. He played 730 NHL games. Over 400 of those were with the Jets. Played for the Manitoba Moose, the first ever captain for the Manitoba Moose. An assistant there for 3 years, a head coach with the Moose for 4 years, and he comes full circle back to Winnipeg here as an associate coach with Rick Bowness, and he is going to be working with the defense. He's in charge of the penalty kill, and I can tell you this is a very detail-oriented coach and a great communicator himself.
Play comes through center. Dubois takes it in flight. Pierre-Luc Dubois, backhand pass. There's a chance for Reichel. And Dubois at the side of the net looking to get a piece of that. As Pierre-Luc Dubois turned it on, coming up ice on that rush. The Jets regroup. Menelainen, he's been pretty good today. He'll dump it in and go after it. Gets a piece of it. Puck comes free. Harkin shovels it back to the blue line. Capobianco wrists it through. Menelainen behind with a wraparound attempt and loose. And that'll come out the near side as the Jets getting bodies to the goal, trying to solve that equation. Yet to score. Pickard knocks it down and hangs on, and we get a whistle.
Well, a couple of real good chances. Off the heels of the third penalty kill, the Jets have successfully killed, and a nice job again, right clean out of the defensive zone, a set play through the neutral zone. Perfetti wisely just kicks that to Dubois in full flight, and it's Christian Reichel that receives the pass and gives it right back, and then later to follow it up, it's Menelainen. He was first to the puck in the forecheck. He jarred it free and then got his own loose puck for a wraparound attempt, and I agree with you. I think he's been really good tonight. He's been around the play. He's made plays and showing really well in his first game as a Winnipeg Jet.
28 years old now, Saku Menelainen. The Jets get to that puck. Stenlund took a swing at it, and it's played off the board, glass and out. Capobianco, neat maneuver to get away from Philp. Uses the net to his advantage and gets to center. Capobianco still on the move with it. Ended up losing it. Kovacevic, Menelainen. The Jets in that second period outshot Edmonton 7-5. Two-period total of 20-18 in favor of Winnipeg as they continue to trail it. Philp after it. Stenlund pokes it over, and Stanley is on it. Ahead for Harkins at center. Jets complete a change. DeMello's on the ice, and Harkins will wheel back and allow other teammates to get off the ice. There's Stanley. And will it be icing? Yes, it will, as that face-off will come back into the Jets zone with 3:26 gone here in period number 3.
Logan Stanley has made some plays tonight and been noticeable. He's been credited with 8 hits. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's a big part of what Logan Stanley needs to do, in my opinion, to solidify himself as a regular game-by-game player. He's a guy that is a big man that can skate well. He can move the puck. He's got a knack to get the puck through and create some offense. And I don't think that physical game is something that's in his DNA. It's something that he's working to develop. Well, 8 hits in game number 1. Not a bad start to build something with a new coaching staff.
There's DeMello. Sometimes it's a curse when you're that big. Everybody expects you to play like a monster, and sometimes the guy just doesn't do that. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing, as Malone plays it off the side of the net.
You know, but in saying that, I think that it's a weapon that nobody else can replicate, and it's something that's well worth developing. I think it's within Logan to take a step in that regard. I think it's necessary, and man, I'll tell you what, when a guy like that can impose his will, you can change the way the other team plays the game.
A giveaway is the Jets. Appleton with a quick shot. He was set up by Toninato. It was kicked away. Appleton again back to the point. Chisholm couldn't play it, so he'll have to retreat. Appleton waiting for some support, doing a pretty good job of it, as he had Hamlin to deal with, and that'll scoot back down the ice. Lucius turns, feet ahead. Appleton unable to play it. No icing. Samorukov toward the line. There is Bourgault, who we mentioned got a lot of power play time in that second period. Hamlin forechecking, gets bumped. Bourgault on the puck, but couldn't get it cleanly, and now Chisholm took a look over his shoulder, saw he had room on that left side, and he'll play it off the skate of Bourgault. Devenka. The center ice got away from Malott, right down to the goal. There's Samorukov again, shovels it on the backhand. Gloved down by Capobianco as the scoring chances few and far between. Maybe one here. Quick shot by Dubois. Knocked away by Pickard. Kovacevic. Down for Perfetti. Took an odd bounce, went right back to him. He wiped out. Hit the kick plate and went right to his stick. Now Capobianco waiting on the attack. The Oilers trying to take advantage the other way. McLeod delay, shoots, and he put that one wide glove side. Took an odd hop toward the front. The Jets are in transition. Taking a look is Dubois. He'll move it. Perfetti just offside at the Edmonton line.
Well, this is a quick developing 2-on-1, and it's Ryan McLeod on his off wing, and this is well played, I think, by John Kovacevic, as he wants to take that pass away but pressure the shot as well, and you can see him down, and Dubois comes into the screen late, and it's a hard thing to do, is pressure the shot and take the pass away. A really good job, a headsy play from John Kovacevic to force McLeod to shoot it, and he shoots it wide.
McLeod 9 goals, 12 assists last year in 71 games for Edmonton. Reed Schaefer gave it away. Jets get on that loose puck and play it back. Stanley, his 3rd year as a Jet, coming up. Flipped toward the line. Chiasson, that was blocked by Stanley. Now he'll retrieve and get it. The Oilers trying to tag up, and Chiasson has lost the blade in his left skate. And that is never not funny unless you're the guy who lost the blade.
It never gets old watching that, though, does it?
It's great. Here's a chance for Stanley, and that is blocked as Chiasson to the bench. He was offside. He couldn't get out. Here's Stemmer with a drive, and he missed glove side. Good opportunity there as he snapped that one high and just off the mark.
Good, it's loose. It's loose, good. It's good.
DeMello in deep for Winnipeg. He goes down. Now played back behind the net, and Kulak will jump on that one for Edmonton. Brett Kulak to center ice. DeMello stepping up on his guy. In it goes. Bourgault forechecking, moved by Toninato. Calling for it, Chisholm, and he is on the puck. Declan Chisholm. 3 Oilers get back. Chisholm wristed that cross ice, hit a skate. Toninato centering pass, and just away from Gustafsson as one of the Oilers got a piece. Chisholm delays, poked away, and after it is Holloway coming back to Vodka. Good play by him to get a stick on it, and flip that one into the Jets bench. Winnipeg still trailing by 1. You're watching Jets on TSN here from Edmonton.
Show the world what it means to be a fan at Fanatics.com. The world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
What does the future of strength look like? It's dynamic weight that adjusts for you in real time for a more efficient workout. And you can only experience it on Tonal.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Call right now to find out if you qualify.
Call 1-800-453-0767. 1-800-453-0767.
Oh my God. I don't even call this a hat. This is a piece of art.
This is my tattoo tour. Can you make my ears look smaller or no?
How you doing? Good, brother. You? Good cover? Oh, yeah. You? Good. Kita Kucherov. Dive into that pile. What you doing? Learn from pasta.
Well, there you see Jake Chason, 3 years for the Brandon Wheat Kings, and he's talking things over with the equipment managers. I think he forgot to take the skate guard off. He's working on single leg strength, but honestly, that just never gets old. He's struggling. Look at the ref. Gets in there, helps him out. Gets the ski rope.
Then he drove his ribs into the boards at the end just to add insult to injury.
It's all about edge work when it gets to that point.
Good hit there by Niemelainen as the Jets enter the zone. What a helpless feeling, though. You lose a blade like that, and your instinct is to push off on that foot. And that's not going to work as Stanley goes back for it. 12:25 remaining in this third period of play. 1-0 Edmonton. Stanley. Oilers 5 strong on their side of the red line. Pickard flicks it. Demers is there. Jason Demers mentioned it earlier. 699 games. San Jose, Dallas, Florida, and Arizona. Lucius. He's pressure, but it takes a good bounce, and Malott will take off with it. Malott driving. Delays. Centering pass. And quickly cleared by the Oilers. Kovacevic risks it off the boards. Appleton going after it. Oilers close to too many men. Actually, no, they did have too many men. So the Jets will go to the power play. The second call of its kind tonight. Winnipeg had one earlier in the game.
Edmonton, bench minor, too many men on the ice.
Fourth power play now for the Jets, and things heating up here a little bit. Markus Niemelainen gets the only goal of the game and showing well. He played in 20 games last year for the Oilers, and he gives a big hit. Eyssimont has something to say to that as he gets back on his horse and up against a big man in Virtanen, 230 pounds. He tilts the scales at Eyssimont, not backing down as Oilers giving hits, Jets giving their own back as well.
So Perfetti, Dubois, Reichel, Capobianco, and Stenlund. Not the first time we've seen them on the power play as a 5-man unit here tonight. Shots in the third, the Jets with 6, the Oilers with just the 1. Stenlund will go back after it. They'll try to get organized in their own end. Capobianco now as his teammates fan out ahead of him. Stenlund. Reichel couldn't play it. Battle for the puck behind the goal. Perfetti around for Dubois. Pierre-Luc Dubois back. There's a shot by Capobianco, tipped by Reichel, and that goes out of play.
Just a nice little sequence here to get the puck to the net. Not a whole lot of time and space. It's a behind-the-back pass from Pierre-Luc Dubois and a one-timer from Capobianco right here. Pull someone out of the lane and then just watch Reichel on cue. It's not about getting to the net all the time. It's about getting there at the right time. It is a good job getting a stick on that shot for an attempted tip-in.
Jets beaten at the faceoff so far tonight, 53.5% the winning percentage for the Oilers. Sometimes it's when you win those draws as opposed to how many you win. Here comes Perfetti. Dubois with a cross-ice feed. Stenlund will turn into it. Perfetti poked away. Jets will get the puck. Again, it's Dubois trying to tie this game. Dubois again. Capobianco gives it back to him. Capobianco creeps in a bit, delays, and snaps that one. It may have hit a body and went wide as Hamlin possibly got a piece of it. Perfetti head fake, walks up. His pass too far for Stenlund. Tracking it as Dubois comes loose again. 45 left in this Jets power play. Their fourth of the night. Dubois to Cole Perfetti. Drags it. Side of the net, the feed. Centering pass for Stenlund. As Reichel put it there, but Stenlund couldn't knock that out of the air. Now Bouchard is there. Stenlund with the stick on his. Kulak has a bit of time, and he'll smack that off the glass and down the ice.
Not getting rewarded for some really good work in the O-zone on the power play, where the Jets create a chance, lose the puck, but they often get first touch. And as by committee, Perfetti, Dubois, Reichel again all on their toes to recapture the puck, and they had good sustained pressure.
Strong skating by Chisholm to get it out of the zone, but the Oilers might have a shorthanded chance here. Malone, quick shot. Bit of a handcuff on Riddick, but he was able to knock it away. So the penalty served by Bourgault is over. One shot for Winnipeg on that man advantage. And the Oilers, Demers creeps in, shoots, blocker save, rebound, score! James Hamlin makes it 2-0 Oilers.
This is at the heels of the power play. I think Gavanke is on the ice, and he's gassed as he loses an edge, loses a battle, and right there's the turnover. Now the Jets are caught out of position, and a good job just finding that second layer. It's Demers with the shot. The rebound spits right out down Main Street, and it's James Hamlin. Capitalizes, and no chance for Riddick as he made the first two. James Hamlin last year with Bakersfield scored 21 goals in 64 games. 3 years the captain of the Medicine Hat Tigers back in his junior days, and he gets the second goal of the night.
And it's got to feel good for him. He's yet to play in a National Hockey League regular season game and puts one in to give the Oilers a bit of a cushion.
He is a tenacious player, not a big man, 5'9", 175 pounds, but he plays with some sandpaper, got lots of skill and vision, and it's rewarded there.
Here's Harkins for Winnipeg. More than halfway through this third period play. DeMello up on it one more time. Harkins, Niemelainen will use that long reach to his advantage. Jets working hard in the offensive zone. Nothing to show for it yet. There's a shot by DeMello. Caught up in some bodies in front. And it takes a good bounce for the Jets. Quick shot, and that is blocked by Niemelainen as Harkins took the drive. Harkins again looking for an airborne puck. That puck has bounced around a lot tonight. And the Jets unable to take advantage right there, but drilled right back in by DeMello as they get 5 fresh skaters over the boards. So Hamlin from Demers and Phil at 10:22 is the summary of that last goal. Now with speed, here comes McLeod. Cuts around Kovacevic. McLeod puts on the brakes. Takes a look. Followed out near the line. Samorukov shot, and that's knocked away by Riddick. Good body positioning there by Capobianco. Asamon for the Jets. Down 2 now. Capobianco in his feet to Toninato, trying to force it out. Puljujärvi will roll that in. He had a good first period, kind of quiet since then. Toninato takes the pass. Capobianco. He'll flip it in again. The Jets with a quick change. Samorukov with time. Malone flips at the backhand. Kicked at by Gavanka. Now Virtanen for Edmonton. Will he make the Oilers team? We'll see. Holloway.
Pardon me, over 300 games in 6 years with the Vancouver Canucks. He's sitting on 100 points. And again, I watched him play a lot of hockey in junior with the Calgary Hitmen, Jake Virtanen. And I think if there's one thing, it would be the consistency, because he is a powerful man.
Shot stopped by Riddick. The rebound slid wide. Malone took that original drive. Gavanka trying to get it out. He falls. Holloway shovels it back to the line, but it goes all the way down into the Oilers zone as Perfetti looking to chase his man down. Now Bouchard up ahead, redirected in by Chiasson with a new skate blade. DeMello, his pass on the wing. Just played out carefully there by Reichel. He'll head off the ice as we near the 13-minute mark of period 3. That was casually played by Riddick. That puck almost went in, but Dave knew what he was doing. His team is down 2 here at Rogers Place. A little bit of bad blood. We haven't seen a lot of it tonight, but it's Benson in there and Jeff Malott nose to nose, and maybe a bit of a sarcastic smile there from the Oiler player.
Malott got into his first NHL game last year, one game with the Jets, and we mentioned that he's led the Moose in goal scoring, not just last year, but in the truncated season 2 years ago. And Malott doing a good job, just in the face of the hometown boy and Tyler Benson. And here's what started it all: is Riddick kind of plays it off the back wall, slow to cover it up, and little stab there. Malott jumps in and didn't like that. Stand up for teammates, and it's that competitive edge that all the coaches are looking for. Malott right in the mix.
Manalainen fires it off some shin pads. Well, you look at that, and I was saying that's about the only physical play really tonight. But back when you played, there was no shortage of fights in exhibition games. It changed for the better, but there could be some long nights in exhibition games years ago.
Boy, long nights, long exhibition season. Back in my day, I'd play it all 8 almost every year long, and oh boy, ice bag hockey.
Here comes Phil, turns the corner, cuts behind the net, looks to center, and Riddick got a piece on it. DeMello grabs it. Stanley takes the pass from him. And he'll just ease his way back behind the net, and the Jets will change one more time. Again, Ottawa in Winnipeg on Tuesday. We'll have that game for you. Second of our 4 preseason games. Harkins ahead. A little bit of speed there from Lucius. He'll chip it, try and go after it. Asimon as well. Lucius crashing in there along the boards. Kovacevic. Now set behind the net. Murray flips it on the backhand. Capobianco up on the play. McLeod, he'll grab that along the boards and move it ahead. He goes to the net. Fogle returning it. McLeod scores! Ryan McLeod turned on the Jets, beat Riddick to the puck, and it's 3-0 Edmonton.
This is a bit of a broken play here, and it's understandable. Riddick caught between 2 decisions. It's Chaz Lucius, the forward, the high forward back, and kind of loses an assignment for Ryan McLeod. It's a floater, and now does Riddick come out and play it, or is he going to get there in time? And you can see him there play it. Nope. Save it. Nope. Third goal of the night for the Oilers off of the stick of Ryan McLeod with just over 5 minutes remaining.
Just that little hesitation from Riddick probably cost he and the Jets in the end. And McLeod gets Edmonton's second goal of this third period, and Bouchard has it now at center. Riddick going the distance here tonight. Again, Arvid Holm is the backup goaltender from Winnipeg. Bouchard grabs the loose puck, fires, scores! It's tipped in the slot. It might be Holloway's goal. Either way, it's 4-0 Edmonton.
Yeah, this is just a real simple play. A load of high and get to the front of the net. I think you're right, Dan. Is going to get tipped. And Evan Bouchard last year with 12 goals, 10 of them were even strength. He could shoot it. He can let it go. And right here, and watch the way he just keeps it low, looks for some tips in front. There's no shortage of traffic as Bertanen's off the far post, and it's Dylan Holloway. Or does that maybe go off of Tony Nato's stick as he's looking to front the puck? No chance for Riddick. And 2 goals back-to-back for the Oilers.
In 27 seconds to make it 4-0 now with 5 minutes to go. Well, Holloway certainly thought he had it. Maybe we'll see who gets credit in the end, but not really of prime importance here in the preseason as the Oilers open things up now. Puljujärvi. In behind the goal it goes. Thrown ahead to Perfetti. Dubois wants it, and he gets it. Cannot get it in deep, however. DeMello steps it up. Perfetti takes his pass. Cole Perfetti. Thought he might try to go right up the middle on Bouchard. He had a step on him. Out of gas, though. He'll fire it in behind the net, and now Bouchard, who will have a point on that last goal, lofts it, can't get it out. Capobianco knocks it down. He'll face the goal now. Kyle Capobianco backhands it out front of the net. Lots of bodies out there, but it didn't get through, and it's cleared by Bourgault. Benson looking for Bourgault. It'll trickle down to Riddick, and he stops the play. 2 goals in 27 seconds for the Oilers, opening up a 4-0 lead here at Rogers Place.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Call right now to find out if you qualify.
Call 1-800-453-0767. 1-800-453-0767.
When you have NHL Center Ice, you're in control of what games you watch every night of the season. With up to 40 out-of-market games a week, you can follow your favorite teams and stars of the NHL, no matter where you live. Never miss a Matthews goal, a Makar check, a McDavid rush, or a Markstrom save, all from the best seat in your house. NHL Center Ice, the game lives where you do. Order NHL Center Ice today.
Oh my God.
I don't even call this a hat. This is a piece of art.
This is my tattoo tour. Can you make my ears look smaller or no?
How you doing? Good, brother. You? Good cover? Oh, yeah. You? Good. Nikita Kucherov.
Dive into that pile.
What you doing? Learn from pasta.
Some Jets fans hanging in there. Listen, I'm a Jersey guy, and there's not a Jets jersey, and I'm not playing to the crowd here. There's not a Jets jersey that I dislike. I mean, they just keep coming out with winners, and some fans sticking it out here today as their favorite team down 4-0.
That Heritage jersey is gorgeous, isn't it? Not a whole lot to cheer about for Jets fans in the house tonight, but this is all about 3 weeks, 6 exhibition games for Rick Bowness and his staff to get this group on the same page, and they knew it wasn't going to happen right away. A ton of teaching. They've completely changed the way this team is going to play. They're going to be hard to play against, but because they're going to be aggressive in all 3 zones, and I can tell you, when you're trying to implement a new system that is built on speed and built on aggression, that doesn't happen overnight because you're making reads at breakneck speed, and it takes time, it takes repetition, it takes practice, and it takes games. So the first of 6, and the Jets coaching staff knows that they've got a lot of work to do here in the near future.
And that's what Rick Bowness said today. He said, we have a lot of work to do, and if anybody comes to the rink thinking they don't, they're mistaken, as they're down 4-0 here. But he said that too. Repetition. He said that a couple of times about trying to learn the new systems. He knows it'll happen, and it's been fun. Just the practice and a half that I've seen. They're going at it hard, as all teams are practicing at this time of the year. So the Oilers with 2 goals in 27 seconds and 3 in 4 minutes and 29 seconds have blown this one wide open. Picked off by Bourgault. Nifty little move, slams on the brakes, crafty forward, back to the line. With the reach of Gavanka. Semerukov let it go. Benson. Oilers little tic-tac-toe right now. Chisholm pokes it. Toninato gave it away. Shot right back in deep. 2 3/4 left in this one. Benson centers. Chance for Chiasson, but he was bottled up quickly by Asimov, and they push and shove behind the plate.
One of the things that Rick said that stood out for me is the things that he was expecting from his group coming into camp was you better be ready to work, and that's nothing new. You better be ready to buy in. That's nothing new. You better be ready to think. And that is something that, you know, you don't always hear as one of the staples of the things in training camp. Compete, work, show us you want to be here, and all that's important. But thinking is a huge priority because there's a lot to think about here. And it's the mental speed of the game equally as important as your foot speed.
Puck grabbed by Schaefer and now dumped in there by Malone. With 2 left, there is DeMello. Takes a look, sees that he has some room to maneuver with it. Flips it right side, Mason Appleton. Weak backhand attempt. There's a chance for Malott, and that is stopped and held by Skinner. So a rare opportunity for the Jets here in the last 12 minutes or so. Malone with a headlock on Malott. Brad Malone from a fine playing, hockey playing family. Dad Jim was a first-round pick of the Rangers way back when. And of course, cousin Ryan, Greg, his uncle.
Looks like Dexter to me if you've ever watched that series.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully he doesn't have that mean of a streak, but yeah.
Good point, and this off the heels of another good rush for the Jets. And notice Dylan DeMello in this one, and we talked earlier about the D being more involved. That's Dylan DeMello up in the play. He's the first one on the puck, and he gets the initial shot. So he dishes it, but does he stop? No, he continues his path. Increases his speed, and there's an example of D up in the play off the rush. It takes 5 guys to forecheck under this new system to create offense.
So with 1:47 left, the face-off to the right of the Oilers' goal. Reichel reaching in for it. Back to Kovacevic, shot block. That went off Hamlin, who has a goal in this third period. Reichel waited just long enough for Perfetti to tag up. In behind the goal it goes. Around the boards, Benson looking to chip it out. He is tied up. Kovacevic unable to do anything with that puck. Get a hold of it. He'll try again from center. Nice to see the Jets get one just for fun. That is Rick Bowness reminded us and everybody who should know. He said yesterday when he was asked about, are you concerned who the Oilers will play? He said, this training camp is about us. It's about getting what we need to get done, and we're not worried about the score and that sort of thing. So
particularly in the first, 2 or 3 games, he's not just saying that. He means that they want to evaluate some young guys, and some young guys won't get another opportunity to play in the exhibition. And as this grows, though, they'll get to what the opening night should look like, and then it's going to be about your opponent as much as it is yourself. How are you going to find ways to win as a team and implement all the things that they are going to hope it will lead to enough wins to get to the postseason.
It was opening night, October the 14th at home against the Rangers. A ways to go before then, but we certainly can't wait for that. 25 left in this one. For a goal. Chopped it. Cleared it. Gustafsson back for Kovacevic. Return pass for him right onto the stick of Xavier Bourgault. Trying to get a little fancy going between the skates. It hit the back of his skate, and the Jets are able to clear it, but it was all Oilers today. They had an early goal that held for the longest time, and then 3 in the third, and they take this exhibition game 4-0 over Winnipeg.
Well, dress rehearsal number 1 is in the books. David Riddick allowed 4 against, and it wasn't an easy game to play in, but we did it, partner, didn't we? Number 1 down, one of many, I hope. And
now I can breathe.
Welcome to Winnipeg, and Winnipeg outshoots the Edmonton Oilers 29-26, but they dropped this one 4-0.
If I put you on the spot and ask you for one shining spot for the Jets here tonight, what would it be?
Yeah, I would say that, guys like Perfetti and Lucius and David Gustafsson, these are guys that are pushing for spots, most likely Perfetti and